So those are the first two properties. You're looking at what, under 12 grand to set both of them up, really and truly.
Around that much. Yeah.
And making the best part of £1,500, £1,800 a month on both of them. So over £3.5 grand from two properties.
Yeah, from two. Yeah, that was my cheapest one. It cost me like £4 grand, I think it was. Set up £5 grand.
Sensational work, bro.
Really, really low, because I had a bit of time. I had a 2-week rent-free period as well, setting up. Well, I made my money back after like 3 months, I think it was.
You're looking at roughly 15 grand for the 3 deals that you've actually invested, roughly.
Yeah, around
and we're going up into the 4.5 grand income mark, around 5 grand income, around that sort of mark. Welcome back to Luke's Properties YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be talking with one of my success students, Mohammed. Mohammed went from chasing his professional football dreams in Qatar to building a successful rent-to-rent business in Birmingham that makes him over £5,000 every single month in profit at the age of only 23 years old. There's loads of tips and gems in this episode, so make sure you stay tuned and take some notes. And without further ado, let's get into it. I guess the best place to start then is where you were a couple years ago now, I guess. When did you come on the course? 2023?
I think
22?
I think it's been long. It's about 2 years, I think it has.
Yeah.
About 2 years. I went to Qatar when I bought, and then I just left it on the side for a bit. I wasn't really taking action for a bit until start of last year or something like that.
Yeah. And then you've just been at it ever since.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I haven't stopped since, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's the way you get places, bro. That's what I was like in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I guess let's walk through the first few months of you getting started. Then, what was you doing prior to even doing the course? Like, what was you come out of uni, or you was working, or where was you at?
Yeah, so basically, I finished uni, and then I wanted to play football, so I traveled. I went to Qatar, played football in Qatar for a bit, and I was gonna stay out there. Yeah, just before the World Cup.
Sick. What position was you?
Anywhere attacking, mainly around cam, more cam.
Okay, player technique, half turn and that, pockets.
Yeah. And then that happened, and then I literally, whilst I was there, like, I was loving it. Like, honestly, the best facilities you can. I was literally training on where Brazil was training, and I was like, I got there, and he was like, "Oh, you have to have a sponsorship." Obviously, they couldn't give me one at the time. They were like, "Oh, if you want, we'll offer you a part-time job, whatever." And I thought to myself, like, if I get injured now, like, that's it. I'll have no one to play. I'll be out.
Yeah.
How it all goes with football and stuff. People.
I know how it goes for sure. It's tough.
Yeah. You played football yourself as well, didn't you?
Yeah. It's a lot of politics.
Yeah, literally. So I thought, let me just go back and actually put a bit more effort into starting something for myself.
Yeah.
So I did that. I come back. I just had a look at the course, opened the course up again, and I was like, you know what? Let me just give this a try. So I started printing off the script. That's where I started. The calling script. I printed that off, and it was so hard. Like, when just making the first call, that was the hardest. Honestly, I'd start making a call and then I'd hang up.
I remember speaking to you around them times, and you was like, "What should I do?" I was like, "Just hammer the phones, bro. Just practice makes perfect." You know what I mean? But I remember my first call, like, I didn't really know what to say. I remember thinking same thing you would do, like, call and then hang up. Do you know what I mean? Like, thinking, like, you have all your script in your head, what you're going to say, and then as soon as they answer the phone, it just all disappears.
Yeah, literally. Honestly, the amount of times I've called them, I've gone so well speaking to them, and then I'd hang up because I stood so bad, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, why? That's very common with rent to rent, especially in the beginning, man. They might bring up one objection that you haven't got the answer to, and then you just end up thinking, panicking.
100%, yeah. So that happened, and then obviously, I spoke to you about that deal, didn't I? That first one, it was a 4 or 5 bedroom. I was looking to do rent to HMO at first, so that was the I got, and I naturally just fell into SA. Honestly, I was so against SA. I was like, there's nothing guaranteed, so I was just And then honestly, I wouldn't even look at doing HMO, to be honest with you. Like I've had opportunities to do it, but like it's just reversed. Like I was thinking, oh, what if I didn't make enough money with SA? But now it's like,
Yeah,
oh, what if a
flying.
tenant didn't even pay me?
Yeah,
So or rent a HMO, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
I'll just give that a miss. And then yeah, SAs fell into my lap, and then yeah, it's on.
So mainly SA is what you've been doing, yeah.
Yeah, mainly SA, yeah. So my first deal came from a viewing that I did about. I literally did the viewing with a landlord a year before I met him again. So that's my
Okay,
first.
cool.
Yeah. So I met a landlord in December time, and
Was that through an agent or just letters
uh,
or just
open rent. Yeah. So
okay?
open rent. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
went to open rent, and I reached out
Mhm.
there, and he was open to doing a company let.
Company.
So
Yeah.
I went to the viewing as usual, and yeah, he was just like, "Oh, you're still new. I'm gonna go with someone else." I was like, "Okay, that's
Mhm.
fine." And then he actually reached out to me. No, he gave his friend my number, and his friend
Mhm.
reached me whilst I was doing a 9 to 5. I was just working at the AA, so
Mhm.
I just get a
Grafting.
yeah. I just thought I'd have to go to AA, and
Mhm.
then I went on my phone and I seen a message come through, and I was literally on a call with a customer at the time.
Mhm.
And I seen, I've got a property in the area that I wanted.
Mhm.
Um, I heard that you manage the property next door. I want you to take this one on. Man,
Fantastic.
I finished a call with the customer, and I just put myself on a little break and walked out, called the guy, booked in a viewing for literally the same day, went
Yeah.
and viewed straight after work, and
Yeah.
he literally gave me the keys there and then,
No
and
way.
yeah, literally there and then. I didn't pay anything. He just gave them me. He looked so stressed, so I took the
Oh
keys.
my God, is that enough?
Bro, he honestly he was so stressed, but
So what was that? A house, apartment? What was it
yeah,
like?
honestly, I went so straight away into the deep end. Went for a 5 bedroom house, so big house,
Okay,
and
cool.
yeah, the rent on that was around £2,000. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
a big jump.
Mhm.
And yeah, the funny story was his friend lied to him, so he gave him my number because he thought I was like a, he probably thought less of me because I've just started out. So he didn't want to give the company that he's working with to his friend, so he
Yeah,
gave it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Give the young lad a chance, and also
So
have this one. You're not having my main estate agent. Let me just give you number two in his mind.
actually, yeah. So that's what happened, and then yeah, went upwards from there. Honestly, it went. So after that one, set it up. He gave me around 20 days to set up. So I've
Yeah.
managed to get it turned around in around 10 to 12 days.
So you got a rent-free period from him.
I had a rent-free period from it, yeah, but I was a bit slow to be honest with you. So I set it up, and I was just long with getting a photographer, so I had to
Yeah, yeah,
wait around,
yeah, yeah.
and I literally used up the whole of the setting up period. So that
Rent-free
taught me
period.
a lesson. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that taught me a
Well, this
lesson.
is still cutting your teeth and learning your lessons at that point. You know, like obviously as time goes on, you realize that period's super important to try and
Yeah.
maximize. But
Mm.
just getting that negotiated in general is always fantastic work if you think about it, because it just gives you that buffer, don't it?
Yeah, literally.
When you
So,
say he was stressed out, what was he going like? What was the situation with the property prior like?
so to be honest with you, he had
Bad
he
tenants.
was working with a big agent. So he had one of the
Mhm.
biggest agents in
Mhm.
Birmingham working with him,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, they keep ringing me up saying I have to pay for stuff, and
Mhm.
it's stressing me out because I'm not making anything."
Yeah. Got you.
And the state that they left the house in as well. It's
Yeah.
a brand new house, so it was only like a
Yeah.
year old.
Yeah.
So and it was like cracks in the walls, skirting boards
Yeah.
falling, and he had a leak as well in one of the
They
bedrooms.
rented to individual people then per room,
It
or
was
was it like to a group
yeah, I think
or family?
it must have been students to be honest with you. Yeah,
Okay,
Hong
that's
Kong
probably
students, I think, or something like that. So
that explains the upkeep. Maybe they weren't keeping it in the
yeah,
best condition.
no. So yeah, that's what happened, and yeah, he looked so stressed.
But they're the ones though, aren't they? Like sometimes,
Yeah,
like my best clients have been landlords who are in that same position where for whatever reason the properties become a burden to them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're what we call like motivated landlords. You know, like they're looking for someone to come in and help them, someone with a unique skill set that's slightly more advanced than just your typical high street letting
yeah,
agent, isn't it?
yeah,
Because the
yeah,
service they get from those guys can be very generic, and
yeah,
it sometimes isn't really the best for larger houses like that.
Yeah, 100%. I think when I went there as well, a lot of it's like trying to sell as well. So you need to
Yeah,
find like honestly just like I heard a guy say, "Fake it till you make it," and literally just
yeah.
lie. And I was just like,
Well,
"Oh, you can go with an agent, but they've got like 200 properties. They're not going to look after your house."
yeah,
And then
exactly.
yeah, that's true. And
It's
yeah,
true. You just lean on that. You lean on that personal service. That's probably why he gave you the keys, because he just thought, look, young man knows what he's doing. Albeit he might be new to the game, but you're there and you're ready to do the work. You know,
yeah, yeah,
and
100%.
if he was a bit older, I presume maybe he's just thinking at this point, like, do you know what? He's probably got more than one. Like, let me
Yeah,
just give this
yeah.
one to the young lad and let him manage it and see what happens. You know,
He didn't even. I didn't even have to pay a deposit as well. So I literally paid the first
fantastic.
month and
So
it was
2 grand, and then what else did you do? Furnish it or
furnished it and stuff. Yeah, so I furnished it. Cost me around, I think it was 5K, something like that. So it wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. And
yeah.
yeah, I broke even after. Well, made my money back after like 3 months. I think it was 2 or 3 months.
That's very, very, very good. So
Really, really good.
5 grand plus the two, so 7 grand all in.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
Yeah,
around
and then
7 months.
you literally been renting it on Airbnb and Booking.com and doing it by the night.
Yeah, by night. Yeah,
What does
and
a property in that area get like
I
around
think
roughly per night?
I was averaging around 200 per night, something like that.
Yeah,
But
and that'd
it's
be for
like,
groups.
yeah, for groups, yeah. And the thing is, there was like so many other Airbnbs around as well. And it was
Yeah,
like it's so competitive, like in that
yeah,
area. So it's more like speaking to old clients and stuff like that, so that have stayed.
sure.
So I
Yeah,
literally from the get go built up a spreadsheet and just had the same people in there.
yeah.
Like I think 60% of my bookings are like direct,
So
40% are
repeat customers
yeah,
basically.
customers or referrals and stuff like that. So
That's the best way though. That's the best way because you get to cut out the middleman with the commission for the agencies as well.
the fees
And
and they're not a joke.
yeah, nice. With essays, those margins are key, aren't they? So
Honestly,
any
yeah,
percentage you can get back in your pocket, it goes a long way. And you can
yeah,
also offer it for cheaper as well, which is always good
100%.
for the type of person that you're looking for. So would you
Mm.
getting like contractors or just like other working
Yeah.
professionals in there or
So I was speaking to my friends. I had a good friend who operates in Manchester, and
mm,
he was like helping me out with a lot of stuff. His name's Steve as well. So he was literally like telling me, look, what you can do is split the week into
sections?
two sections basically. So he goes
Yeah,
Monday to Friday, just
yeah,
have the contractors in there, and then
yeah,
milk weekends with the
yeah,
tourists and stuff. So I was doing
yeah,
that for quite a while.
yeah, yeah.
Um, that was smashing it through doing that way anyway. And
Mhm,
then after
mhm,
that, I had a big corporate booking.
mhm,
Um, Actually, my first one was international students
mhm,
for September. That was my
mhm.
biggest. That was the first long stay that I had. And
Yeah,
then since then, it's always been Monday to Friday, Friday and Saturday, and then
yeah,
Sundays like just go there, check everything's okay, and
yeah.
then start. Yeah,
So mainly 6 days out of the week you was booked for pretty much.
yeah. I
So like
think
24 nights out of the month.
yeah, definitely, yeah,
That's,
literally.
that's pretty that's pretty good going, bro, isn't it? Really, that's what, like 80% occupancy, roughly, something like that, maybe more.
Mm, yeah, I
That's
think
very, very good.
yeah, I'd have to look at my the days that I've been booked as well because I'm coming up to a year next month
Yeah,
since I had my first deal.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to
That's
have
it.
a look at them as well.
That's impressive numbers, bro. That is seriously impressive. So of a month, roughly, give or take, 24 nights at £200, you're looking at the best part of 4.5 grand, around that
Yeah,
sort of point.
that's what I aim for, to be honest with you. Yeah, so I aim for around 1,800 profit a month. That's what I look to
Yeah,
get, hopefully.
yeah.
A month.
That is fantastic work considering you only put down 7 grand in it, really and truly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got
That's good going, bro. That's some good work. Those are
I
some good
appreciate
numbers. So that
Thank
was
you.
your first one. You got off to a great start.
Yeah, so that happened, and then 2 months later, this one was through an agent. So my second one was through an agent, and that one was probably the longest, the most patience that I had to have.
Mhm.
So I initially reached out to him back in July when I
Mhm.
was trying to get my first deal, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Nah, the landlord wants over £2,000 a month." I was like, "Nah, forget it." So I
Typical.
left
Yeah.
it. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So I left it. I was patient with it. Kept
Mhm.
sending a message every month, and I kept keeping an eye on the market.
The follow-up, so important.
Yeah, literally. So I was doing that, and then when I reached out for like the third or fourth time, he
Mhm.
answered, he picked up the phone. He goes, "Look, the landlords haven't found a tenant. Can I meet you, speak about the business model you've got, and
Mhm.
you take it from there?" So I met
Mhm.
him at Tim Hortons, sat down with him,
Mhm.
and yeah, he liked what I was doing. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, there's a call coming through. Oh man,
That's all right, bro. That's all right.
have you lost me? Or am I still
No,
there?
no, you're still there. You're still there, Crystal, bro. It's calm.
Sorry, no, some guests ringing me, but
All
yeah.
right.
So that happened, and yeah, he was like, yeah, I like what you're gonna do, and the main thing is I was telling him like I was working with contractors, so that's the key thing to speak with agents
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, okay, we'll do it on my terms though, this whatever, and then
Mhm.
yeah, he actually gave me the deal. Like it took me around 4 months to get that deal, so
Mhm.
from July to around November time,
Yeah.
and and then that was my second deal, but I didn't have enough money, so
Mhm.
that's where I was like, oh, trying to speak to
Juggling.
family,
Yeah. Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to literally £500 there, £500 there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Raising finance.
yeah, literally, and then it worked out. I managed to. I had to pay a deposit for that one because the agent. It was his first time working with me, so
Yeah.
uh, I just,
Understandable.
yeah, I was like, okay, that's fair enough, whatever. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
managed to get it £500 less per month than what
Mhm.
he first had it up for, which was quite
Okay.
funny.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, so it was less than what it was in the same area, but
Mhm.
around £200 less than what I'm paying on my first
For
deal.
the first one, that's always good to do that. You want to be working the number down if you can.
100%,
And the
100%.
fact it was on the market for a while and they couldn't find
Yeah,
anyone, you use
exactly.
that to your advantage for negotiation, right?
Yeah, literally. And
Yeah.
to be honest with
Smart.
you, he had it less, and I thought instead of offering that price because it was really low, I actually offered
Mhm.
him around £80 more. I don't know why £80, but
Well, that's
I
just what it
paid.
worked out to on your figures, isn't it? You thought, okay.
Yeah, I just put £80 more, and yeah,
Mhm.
he accepted the deal, and yeah, that was my second deal. To be honest with you,
So that
that
was
was
another
perfect.
5 bed.
That was another 5 bed right next to the other one that I have, so it was perfect. Like,
Okay.
like now
Perfect.
I have the luxury of like if I do get double booked, I can move
Yeah.
people around.
Yeah.
So
That is
perfect.
a top tip for rent to rent for sure. Like that economy of scale, having everything in one place, it
Yeah,
reduces all your operational costs, don't it? Like
100%.
cleaning and
Yeah,
any other costs you've got going on.
yeah,
Having everything in one place is perfect, bro. Like you said, when you get that overflow and you can't quite fulfill one client, you can move them over
yeah,
to the other one, and so be it. That's the one of the pros of having everything in the same area for sure.
yeah, literally. So yeah, that was
So
my
10
second deal
rooms,
too.
10 rooms back to back.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They're actually 4 beds and one study room, but I turned it into a bedroom as well.
So it's a
So
single in there,
single in there, yeah.
and typically you're getting groups of fours and fives, sometimes more. Depends.
Yeah, sometimes quite a lot more. I put a sofa bed in there as well. That's
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to attract the wrong group, but that's where you
No,
take stuff.
no.
So
But if you're doing it by the night, then you're still working within the rules.
yeah,
There's
with
been
the
many
groups
a
as
time.
well. Yeah, the extra guest fees, like honestly, they add up stupidly. Like I had a weekend booking, and it was like they paid, I think it was £1,600 for the weekend,
Yeah,
and it was a 10, and it
yeah.
was like
It
2 nights.
seems expensive, right? It sounds expensive, but really and truly, if you look at the hotels, they're paying so much more than that.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
So for all
especially
those
when
guys to get a room themselves, it's
yeah,
you're providing something way more affordable and convenient for them.
exactly. And they have their own space as well. Honestly,
Yeah,
I was never into Airbnbs, getting Airbnbs for myself anyway to stay in. But when you've got your own place, it's so much easier having to walk through like
yeah,
hotels and stuff, going upstairs,
yeah.
all long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just want to go to work, come home, chill out, put their laptop on or whatever, have something to eat, make themselves some food, keep their costs down. Because if they're working
exactly.
away from home, they don't want to just be getting like takeaways
Exactly.
and
Takeaways and
doing what
stuff.
they've got to do. Yeah, just
You
want to
want
cook for
to go,
themselves, get
yeah,
a meal
or,
down and go to bed, really, innit? Really. So that
literally.
was the same sort of numbers as the first deal then, like similar sort of
Very
numbers,
similar. Yeah, very similar. Yeah, yeah.
same
Very
occupancy.
same occupancy, everything. Honestly, like if
Fantastic
anything,
work, bro.
like yeah, it's perfect. Honestly, like 6 days a week.
So good,
I
man.
need to go back and have a look at how many days I've missed through the week, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's Sundays that I miss.
Yeah. That's normally a quiet day across the board, really.
I've probably missed like 1 or 2 midweeks since I first had the place, which is nothing. Like, in the
No,
last 10 months,
no.
that's nothing less like 10 days. So
That's sensational work,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
literally. And again, you furnished it, same sort of numbers.
yeah,
You did like a bit of a
yeah.
refurb or not much work.
Yeah, I think it's just the designs and stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
like when my mate actually told me, he goes, "Bro, you're never actually gonna spend what you think you're gonna spend. You're always gonna spend a bit more," and that's
Yeah.
what I keep in mind. Yeah,
That's welcome to property, bro. That's across the board, bro, in everything. I'm
yeah,
always like, yeah, I'm gonna spend 5 grand. No, I'm gonna spend
literally.
it's always more, bro.
Always goes
Always.
up a bit more, yeah, because like you want to make it look the best, and it's like
Yeah.
little things that you end up doing, and it
Yeah.
adds to the price. But it was still quite cheap for a 4, 5 bed anyway. Like I always look
Yeah.
for around £800 to spend on each bedroom, if that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Same.
nothing really. Yeah,
Yeah. So again, your setup cost was around under 7 grand for that one.
yeah.
Six,
I think
7 grand.
that was my cheapest one. It cost me like 4 grand, I think it was, to set up a
That's
5 bed. Yeah,
sensational work, bro.
it was really, really low because I had a bit of time. I had a 2 week rent-free period as well, setting up
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
With the agent, which was good.
Yeah.
Honestly, all I needed to do was just to furnish it in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, that
Is
took
that
me 10 days.
is that the one you did a feature wall on, or
Yeah, I
is
did
that?
a feature. I've done a feature. Yeah, that one I done a proper feature wall in. The first one I just put wallpaper in there. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why it took me longer, but obviously it's my first deal, so that's probably
First
why.
one,
But
you're learning
yeah,
away.
yeah. The rest of them I've always done like feature walls in them.
Yeah, no, that's a really creative way of it, increasing the
Yeah,
perceived value of it, because
yeah,
that's what rent to rent is. End of the day, you don't own the asset, so you want to keep the refurb as minimal as possible, but you
yeah,
also want to attract those higher quality guests or tenants, right?
yeah,
So you've got to do something. You can't do nothing.
yeah.
And
You
like
can't
feature
really tell.
walls, being creative, that's when the creativity comes out, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, yeah, literally. Honestly, you don't know how creative you are until you actually do something,
Yeah.
and
Until your back's against the wall and
yeah,
you got to make the rent. You got to make the rent in a few days, bro. That's when the creativity comes out quick.
literally. Yeah, I'm never a creative person, man, until I actually
Yeah.
started this. Yeah,
Yeah, no, people will surprise themselves, man. You put yourself under a bit of pressure and you
yeah,
get forced to think quick and forced to take some action quick, and you surprise yourself for sure.
literally.
So those are the first two properties you're looking at, the what, under 12 grand to set both of them up, really and truly,
Yeah, around that much. Yeah,
and making the best part of 1,500, 1,800 pound a month on both of them. So over three and a half grand from two properties.
Yeah, from two. Yeah. So
That's mental.
it's really good. Yeah, to be honest with you.
That's
Yeah,
mental, man.
yeah.
What happened then? What happened next? Any more?
So after this one's probably my favorite deal, to be honest with you. Uh, it
I
was
thought
a
it would have been one of them ones. You got another one for me, yeah?
Nah, this one's honestly the best one. His story's class, honestly. So it was a
One.
2 bedroom
I'm all ears.
apartment, two
Yeah.
bedroom. It was an ensuite with an ensuite as well. So 2 bed, 2 bath apartment. I never thought
Landlord agent. How'd you find him?
this one was a
Landlord.
landlord. So the way this deal
Brilliant
came
letters.
across was no. So this one's a proper landlord from the next door. He lives next door
Okay.
to the property that I got from the agent.
Okay.
So
The other two, basically.
so he
Well, the
was
mouse spreading quick round there, boy.
so it was a bad word of mouth. So this one
Oh,
was quite funny. So there was a party at the 5 bed, a massive party, and police police turned up, locked up the place.
oh, what?
Honestly, it was so bad, like trashed the place completely. And I had
No
guests checking
way.
in the next day. Yeah. So the
No
police,
way.
like 2 vans outside, like 6 police officers. They were like, "Oh,
Oh,
who's the landlord?" So
they went for it. They probably went for it.
yeah, bad. This was like Christmas Eve, so I've rocked up at like 12 o'clock at night. I've got
Yeah.
there and like, oh my god, what's happened here? So I've walked in and they were like, oh, they've just had a fight. The guy
Right.
that's in charge ran off with the keys. I was like, man, he's ran off
What?
with the keys, and like everyone's getting escorted out, like getting
Mm-hmm.
kicked out, and
Yeah, yeah.
landlord next door, he was fuming. Like his wife was fuming. She wanted to like knock on the door.
Prosecute. Right.
She wanted to knock on the door and tell him to be quiet,
Give him
but
some.
so she didn't end up doing that, which was quite good because they were like quite rough and loud
She
as
might have
well.
got a
Yeah,
surprise.
Look, yeah. So she had a daughter as well, so it
Yeah,
wasn't the best.
probably best you didn't do that.
Yeah, so they stayed there, and I literally got there at 12 o'clock. I stayed there overnight, and I
Mhm.
was like, how am I going to clean this place up? Literally, so the cleaners, they were meant to stay there for an extra night, so I
Mhm.
couldn't even get cleaners the next day. So this is where I had to get my hands dirty. So I've
Mhm.
literally gone in there, done the clean, got a few
Mhm.
of my family as well to help me out. There was
Mhm.
vomit all over the floors, broken
Oh
beds. So honestly,
no.
it was the worst thing ever. So that
Oh.
happened. I've gone in. I've had to stay there overnight because just in case they come back.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so I've stayed there. Woke up in the morning, knocked on the door to the next door neighbor. Well, to be fair, my mate was telling me you need to go and apologize. Trust me, just go and apologize, get it
yeah,
out of the way.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like,
Why not?
I don't know, like let me let it cool off a few days and then go and
Yeah,
apologize. Yeah.
yeah. That's
And then
your style more, innit? Let her calm down first, and then
so I thought, nah, I can't. He told me, listen, just go and do it. So I just went and done it, apologized, and the guy
yeah,
was like, nah, it's completely understandable. And then he was like, I've got a 2-bedroom apartment for you to manage if you
yeah,
can. And I was
yeah,
looking at him and I was like, are you being serious right now? Like I've had the police turn up and you want me
yeah,
to click on your property?
yeah,
And that's what I was just thinking in my head. And I was like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah,
yeah,
I need to get it rented because
yeah.
he's been trying to sell the apartment, but he's not managed to sell it.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'll come and view it, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll see how it is. So I
That's
went to view that.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, literally. So
Crazy.
that's
You would never think you'd get a deal from
yeah,
the police being called at one of your
yeah,
prior properties. That's mad.
literally. So honestly, I was like, oh my god, like how is this even happening? So I've literally
Yeah.
gone there, and he gave me the keys there, and then he goes, listen,
Mm.
take however long you need to set up,
Yeah.
and yeah, like pay me the first month's rent when you finish setting up. And yeah, it took me, I think it was around 3 weeks to set up that. Well, it took me 10 days, not even 10 days, but
Mhm.
the bathroom toilet wasn't working for the ensuite,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I still managed to get people in, and
Yeah.
whilst that bathroom wasn't operating, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about a week and a half, I managed to get out of it for free, and there was
Yeah.
tenants in.
Bit of a
So
rent-free period.
yeah.
Make a bit
So
of money before you pay out, type of
yeah,
thing.
literally, yeah. So I
Always
pretty much
helps.
made, yeah, I made half of the rent
Yeah.
that week and a half, so that was
Yeah. That's
good.
fantastic work. So
So
it didn't feel like you were paying out as much to
yeah,
actually
no,
start the deal,
no,
really.
yeah, literally, and it
And
came
again,
furnished as well.
it
So
came furnished as well.
yeah, that deal cost me 2K to set up. Literally,
Mad.
with the rent as well, it cost me 13 about 3,300
Altogether.
altogether. Yeah, for that two
No
bed, two bath,
deposit.
no deposit, nothing at all. So
Yeah. You see you're getting better as you go along, innit? Like each time your negotiations are getting more and more shrewd.
yeah, literally. So that worked out. Made my money back after a month and a half, literally.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was perfect.
Do you
And
think he saw that you were, even though like, yeah, all right, you've had a party in the other house, but you showed up and you was there, do you know what I mean? And you
so I
you
think
handled the situation. Do you think
that's
that might
actually
have
what
given you
he
some
got.
brownie
Yeah.
points? Like,
Yeah. So that's what he actually told me about. I told him, "Can I ask you a question?" After like a few months, and I told him,
yeah.
"Why did you tell me this after like the police?" And he goes, "To be honest
I'm
with you,
happy
I
you
like."
did, but why did you?
Yeah, so
Mm.
that's what he's saying. He was like, "Oh, I'm glad. I was really impressed with how you handled it, with
Yeah.
especially with more than 20 people in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, so bad." And
Yeah.
he goes, "You handled it really well." So
Yeah.
that's why.
That's the
That's what.
worst thing that could happen, really and truly. Like that's many
Mm,
landlords' objections is that, oh, what if
yeah,
there's a party in my house? And he's seen firsthand the worst case scenario play out. You've come,
literally.
you've handled it, you've got rid of them, you're there cleaning it up with your family. Like that shows
Mm,
integrity, you know.
yeah,
And he's probably thinking, okay, if he's gonna do that with that person's property, then he's obviously gonna treat mine the same, you know?
yeah, literally. So he's actually a really good guy, man. So we built a good relationship with that landlord.
Yeah,
So he wants
yeah,
me to manage his other apartment next
yeah,
month, and he wants to go into business together. So he's got a few friends
yeah.
that he has have houses and stuff. So he wants me
Hmm.
to wants to introduce me to them as well. So yeah,
Hmm. That's great, bro.
it's good, to be honest with you. Yeah,
Starts to pick up, don't it? Like obviously in the beginning, remember how quiet it was?
but
Remember you
honestly,
messaging me saying,
it's
bro, it's hard, man. The agents are saying no, and I'm not
yeah,
getting anywhere.
literally.
I'm not getting anywhere. And then boom, they come like buses.
It's like a snowball effect. Honestly, it's just
Yeah,
like once you get your first one, boom, literally just uphill
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you find that one a bit more easy because it's a smaller building as well? Like, how
Yeah,
did
that
that
one was
feel
so
going from
easy.
5 to 2? Did that
Yeah,
affect the income? What was the numbers roughly on it?
the first month I didn't really make that much, but the second month that's probably when I made up for it, and
Hmm.
it was really good that second month. But when
Yeah.
I first started, it was around March time, so it wasn't very
Not peak
very
season for short-term
yeah,
stays.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yes, it worked out okay. In the end, it was
Yeah.
very difficult to start because
Yeah.
I didn't know how two beds work, and
Yeah.
my mate who operates in Manchester, he has quite a few apartments, and
Hmm.
he was telling me like obviously how the market there is a bit different to here, and I was just
Hmm.
comparing like, oh, why, how is he getting these bookings, how am I not getting them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's honestly
It's just a
completely
different
different market.
market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, so yeah, in the end it worked. It's just you gotta have patience, man,
You got to
and you
have
gotta have
patience.
well,
You got to be
yeah,
aggressive with the marketing as well, haven't you? You can't sit around and just wait for the bookings to come in on Airbnb, Booker.com. You got to be like on spare
mm,
room, marketing it like that as well.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
like messaging tenants yourself or potential guests yourself.
yeah,
Repeat customers, like you mentioned earlier on. It's not just one tactic. It needs to be a mixture of 3 or 4, really, don't it? Really,
yeah, yeah, literally. You
to
can't
get the
just focus on,
consistency.
yeah,
Nah.
literally. That's what I've learned quite a lot as well. You can't.
Yeah.
It's not a thing where you just put it up on Airbnb and just people will
See
come to
the
you.
money rolls in.
Yeah, I heard those days are gone. Apparently, back about 4 or 5 years ago, it's different. Like you could have just
Yeah.
put it up on it and you
Like
get booked.
anything, bro. Like anything, right? Like when there was no HMO licensing and landlords could get away with
Mm,
just a normal 4 or 5 bed house and just renting it by the room and making loads of money. Then the
mm,
government steps in and introduces the HMO licensing, similar to what they're trying to do now with the furnished holiday let licensing and stuff. They're
yeah,
trying to
exactly.
make sure they get paid for it, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
landlords figure out a way, or operators like you and I figure out a way to make money, and then they realize people are making money, and they think, well,
yeah,
we'll have our portion of that, you know.
exactly. That's the way it works in this country, isn't it?
It's the way it works in this country, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, unless you
Mm,
want to get out of the country, that's those are the rules. So
but
long
yeah,
term, long term, I'll be going to the Caribbean, bro, and operating there. Do you know what I mean? Just to get a bit
yeah,
more.
I see what you've been doing, man. It looks good, man. It looks really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. That's the long term goal, bro. It's obviously a long term play, but I thought I'd be a bit more free there. You know,
Yeah, definitely. It's
there's less
different.
rules.
Yeah, definitely. Here's like it's way different here, man. Bad
Yeah,
weather,
the
too
bad weather.
expensive.
Yeah, too expensive. You know, you're
Mm,
getting taxed every angle, like every
literally.
angle possible. Like
Mm,
if you're in a job, you're getting taxed for high percentages, high earners, 40%. If you're running a business, they're onto you, corporation tax, this tax, national insurance.
yeah,
It's a joke, man. Whereas other
mm,
countries, you can do a lot more with
yeah,
less restrictions, basically.
100%, 100%.
So that was still number three.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it making the same amount as the other ones, but roughly what, bringing in at least £1,000 a month on a good month, sometimes
yeah,
more.
yeah. I look for around £1,000 a month on that one.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. Now you know we're
Yeah,
looking at roughly 15 grand for the 3 deals that you've actually invested, roughly,
yeah,
and
around that.
we're going up into the 4.5 grand income mark, around 5 grand income, around that
Yeah,
sort of mark for
yeah,
free
yeah,
rent to
yeah.
rent property, which is bonkers
Mm,
when you think about it, because most people are trading 40 hours a week for 2 to 3 grand a month, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
literally.
I doubt you're putting in more than 40 hours a week. I imagine
Mm,
your weeks are more 10 hours, around that sort of mark, 10,
so
20
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, you get so bored sometimes. Like you got quite a lot of time, but and then
Yeah,
when you got a lot of time, you feel like you need to be doing
you should be
something.
doing more. Yeah,
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 yeah, definitely.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
where a lot of the branding can come in, and I can help you with that stuff, and we can push the
yeah,
brand a bit more, because that fills in the gaps.
yeah,
Because yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it can get quiet. Like, once you've done the job and you've got it ticking over, and the tenants are coming in, landlord's getting paid, everyone's getting paid, everyone's happy. There is a lot more hours, and that's when you should start doing more things like this. And we'll obviously talk more as time goes on about pushing your
yeah,
brand out there, and trying to push on and see what the next challenge is going to be. You know, what can we conquer
yeah,
next?
yeah, yeah. That's literally that's the plan. To be fair, just build more of a brand. To be honest, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for sure, bro. There'll be so many people that will be inspired by your story, so many people that want to follow your journey and that. If you want to ever do projects in the future, raising
yeah,
capital, things like that, you know, it'd be easy for you to do that, having documented and shown your journey and learn your trade in the rent to rent game. But
Yeah,
basically, you know, you're building trust with landlords and you're doing some big stuff. So that's only
yeah,
going to add to your people wanting to work with you, you know.
yeah, 100%. I mean, my mate from Manchester, we just took on this 4 bed now, so that's my fourth deal with him. So
Yeah, you've gone
it's
joint
going.
venture.
Yeah, we're doing a JV together, see how it is, because he's a good friend of mine now. So
Mhm.
yeah, try and see how that goes, and
Yeah.
hopefully in the future as well.
So is
Yeah.
that both similar thing, like what you both put half the money up, or he put
Yeah,
money up, you kind of deal, or vice versa?
yeah. So we literally split everything in half. So rent, bills, everything, and then profits
Yeah,
split. So
yeah,
everything 50-50.
yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
got to
nice
kind of have
having
that
someone.
as well. Yeah, it's so much better. Like yeah,
It's not
it's
all
good.
by yourself, is it? It's nice having someone there, isn't it? For
Yeah,
sure.
especially when you're setting up as well. To be fair, like it's so much fun. Like when you're setting up with someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
when you're on
and
your own.
different area as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So obviously
to be
you
fair.
using your expertise, him using his.
Yeah, yeah. So he did he's come down from Manchester into Birmingham. So this
Hmm.
one is all my properties are like literally within half a mile from each other.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's very close. So I
yeah, yeah,
think my plan next is to venture out to a different city, to be honest with you. I want
yeah,
to
yeah.
do something a bit different. I don't want to have my eggs in one
One
basket.
basket. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
So
that. I like that. I mean, you've got the time, right? So
yeah,
so
please.
maximize it. Allocate some hours, like we've said, for your brand, but then also allocate some hours to building something else, like you say,
Yeah,
diversifying basically,
100%. Yeah,
um,
that's the thing.
changing the area because it sounds
Yeah,
like you've got quite a few in that street, pretty much in the
yeah,
same sort of mileage. So
mm, yeah.
expanding is
So
definitely the next step.
yeah, expanding the next step as well before the regulations come in as well. To be fair, because it's good to have as many as you can before the regulations come
Yeah,
in.
of
When they
course,
come
because
in,
it's going to make it more difficult to negotiate.
exactly. Yeah,
I do still think you'll be able to find deals because,
yeah, you would, but
as you can see, it's such a
yeah,
necessary service, right? That
mm,
landlords need it.
yeah,
But it's just going to make it. There's going to be a few more questions to answer and like a bit more persuading to do. Like,
definitely. It's another barrier. To be fair, one of those, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah. But we'll find a way through. You know, if you
yeah,
want it bad enough, we always find a way through, bro.
yeah, literally.
So that's four deals that you've got percolating, bringing you in a nice income.
Yeah,
That's quite impressive work, bro. I must say, man. In under 2 years, really, you've built up a nice little portfolio there for yourself.
yeah. I think. I mean, my first deal was last year September. So
Yeah,
all in all, about a year of actually bringing deals together. It took me a year to actually study and just
yeah.
learn
Do
the
the
actual
groundwork
and do, yeah, yeah. It's honestly like you won't. When I first started, I wasn't getting anything, like just making those phone calls, and then when it's like honestly one you just need one person to say yes, and
for
then
sure,
it's
for
good
sure.
from there. Yeah,
Yeah, because in the beginning, you can almost doubt yourself because you get told no so many times.
yeah, yeah,
You're like, oh, is this really going to work? And it's normally around that time when you actually start to get a bit of
yeah,
traction, and someone
yeah,
might
yeah.
actually say yes. You have to
Yeah,
get
when
to
you
that stage where you're
go in,
almost like, you know what, I might give
mm,
this up.
literally, I think the most important one was saying no to certain deals
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There, like there was a time where I could have said yes, and looking back at it, I'm so glad I said no because
yeah, yeah.
it
Forced it.
would work. Like yeah, you can't force a deal,
Yeah,
100%. I think a lot of people try and force a deal just to say they've got their first deal,
of
and then
course.
honestly, it just goes downhill from there. Like they
Yeah,
don't make money, and they're
yeah,
ending up spending a lot more money than what they
yeah,
should be
yeah,
doing. Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it happen as well, like with people that I've spoken to,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you just got to be patient, man. So
You got to
patient,
be
but
patient. That's
you
such
too.
good advice, bro.
Yeah,
Because you can get over keen and overzealous when you really want something. And
100%. Yeah,
I've had students and people that have taken deals that I haven't really advised them to do, but they're just so
yeah,
keen.
yeah. They
Um,
just want. Yeah,
and it doesn't always work out terrible, but
yeah,
definitely in some scenarios, they might not make no money for the whole first
yeah,
year,
yeah.
sometimes longer. And it's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
rent to
Mm,
rent's a vehicle for you to use for a certain period of time, whether it be 1 to 5 years,
yes.
to then make as much cash flow and income as possible to then hopefully put into other things, like maybe buying property, buying
Yeah.
assets,
Yeah.
starting other businesses, growing your brand, things like that. It's a
Yeah.
vehicle. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a lifetime business, although you know, I'll always try and take on good rent to rent deals
Yeah.
for the cash flow. But I think in terms of building the next step, I think you've always got to be looking to use it as a stepping stone and not see it as you've made it just because you've got a few deals,
Yeah.
you know.
100%. Yeah.
That's
You can
what
get so
things
carried
go
away.
wrong.
Yeah, 100%. You can get carried
It's,
away when you get a deal or two, and then you
of
see
course.
money. Yeah, you see money that you've never seen before, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the problem, bro. That's the
Uh,
problem. So yeah, you got to have a smart, wise head on your shoulders,
you always
and
got to remember that that money is not your money. Like
nah,
that's not
it's the
yours.
business. It's the
Corporate.
business's money, and
Yeah,
you need to use money as a tool to grow and expand. It's not a tool to go and buy yourself a fancy new car
literally.
and do
Yeah,
them things because you'll come unstuck. You know, you have to in them first few years of business, you got to be reinvesting, whether it be back into stock or growing your knowledge. I see you've been going to like different networking events
yeah,
and
100%.
trying to grow your mind and investing in
Yeah,
yourself, which I think
yeah,
is incredible, bro. That's what I want to be seeing from you because
yeah,
those are the investments that are going to pay you the biggest returns, you know.
yeah, 100%. I think a lot of the time you think, oh, how can I spend, 2 grand on like a course or educate
Yeah,
myself? And
yeah,
honestly, it's like the best thing you could do. Like,
yeah,
they're so much faster with less mistakes, and it's
yeah,
so, and especially speaking to different people as well. Like,
yeah, of course, bro.
many people in the property world as possible, because
Yeah,
everyone has a different story, literally.
yeah. Everyone's got
So,
something different to offer. Everyone's got different
yeah,
skills in certain niches. You know, you
yeah,
might come to me for rent to rent. You might go to someone else for
mm,
buying HMOs. You might find an
yeah,
expert in buying commercial plots. Or there's so many different experts out there. It's just having that mindset
yeah,
to drop the ego and to want to learn, isn't it?
yeah. It's just wanting to learn, just always being like a student to the game,
Hmm.
never knowing more than you'd always learn. You never
Yeah.
know everything. Yeah,
Yeah, you never know everything for sure, and that goes the whole way through entrepreneurship. Even getting to my age, like you're still a very young man. Like even when you get up to my age, bro, we're still learning, bro. I'm still reading, still trying to like find people and trying to make myself the dumbest person in the room, you know, so I can keep leveling up all the time, bro. Because it never really stops. But that's part of the fun, right?
yeah. Honestly, so it's that's like the most enjoyable part personally. Anyway, that's what I like
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah. So how you
Mm.
finding entrepreneurship in general? Like how your life's set up now? It's like a long way different from where you were a couple of years ago when I first spoke to you, and you didn't know nothing
Mm.
about property.
Yeah, I didn't
Like
know anything. Yeah.
your weeks and months seem pretty fun now, bro. You got good time to do what
Yeah,
you want to do. You got some passive income coming in.
yeah, literally. So, I mean, it's like I haven't slept. I haven't had a good night's sleep probably since I first started. Before I
Yeah,
started, that's probably the best sleep I had, and since
yeah,
then I
yeah,
haven't slept well. But
yeah,
in terms of like my day to day, it's the
yeah,
best I could have done, honestly.
yeah,
It's so much better than going to a job, coming back. Honestly, when I speak to people that are doing work and stuff,
yeah, yeah,
and they actually enjoy it, I've got friends that work and stuff, and
yeah,
their life is completely different to mine. What they do is completely different, and
yeah, yeah,
it's like I can't imagine myself being like that again. But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's as long as you enjoy it, because there's like certain parts of being an entrepreneur, and it's like
Mhm,
it's not enjoyable, but you do it because you have to do it, and then the
mhm,
reward after that is what makes you enjoy it in the first
mhm,
place. It's
mhm.
like not many people are built for it, but it's I love it, even though
Yeah,
you
no,
don't see.
listen, I think you found your calling. You know, I think some people can work a job and enjoy it, and more power
Yeah,
to them. You know, there's
yeah,
nobility in that, and I respect it. You know,
yeah,
but if you're not built like that, and
yeah,
and you have big ambition and you dream of all these things, and you want to make money and you want to serve the world, and you're an ambitious person, and you see
mm,
yourself having more, and you want to own your time, then entrepreneurship is the only way to go, really. You know, and I think we can all find our place in this world,
yeah,
but there's
definitely.
no point pretending to be having an employee
Yeah,
mindset when you're really an entrepreneur. You know, you want to
yeah, exactly.
be who you really are.
Yeah, it's
Set
always
yourself
like
free.
yeah, you don't wanna be like, oh, what if I did that, or what if
Yeah,
you don't want to
yeah,
be in that
nah,
situation,
nah.
but
It suits you, bro. It suits you, man. I can see you've come a long way, man. You've been running your own business now, and yeah, I mean, sorry to hear you ain't been sleeping, but I mean that's the first 2 years,
but
bro. If I'm being honest,
yeah,
like You don't
It's
really
one
sleep loads, you know, but I mean, that's part of the game. Once you get to year 3, year 4, you start sleeping a bit more comfy, man.
yeah,
And once we start diversifying, like going on to the next levels now, like maybe buying in the future and setting
hopefully,
the brand up, you'll be sleeping a lot better because you'll
yeah,
have a few
hopefully.
different
Yeah,
things going on at the same time. So it will feel less nerve-wracking at times, you know.
yeah, that's the plan. To be fair, yeah, that's the
So what's
plan.
the plan going forward? You gonna look to buy at some point and save up some of that money and buy some stuff?
To be honest with you, it's I want to kind of, yeah, that's the end goal. Like
Yeah,
owning things.
yeah.
That's the end goal. In
Still got so
terms of,
much time.
yeah, it's just a time thing. I don't want to rush into it and
No, you don't
force it.
into it.
I feel like it will come when it comes. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what I learned the most, being patient. So I'm just gonna focus on this for a bit longer, see how many
Mhm.
I can get before the regulations come in.
Mhm.
Try to diversify as much as I can, and
Yeah.
then once that's done, I do want to try and move away. To be honest with you, because like living here is not what what I want to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want,
Same, bro. You're talking to the right person, bro.
yeah, it's too much tax. Honestly, when I'm looking at the stuff that I'm paying for and things like, oh, what I've got to
Yeah.
pay, I'm like, man, like
Yeah.
I should be in the Middle East right now, like in
Yeah.
my hometown, making this money but not having to pay this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
hope, yeah, that's the plan. Probably move away and then owning things. That's the
Yeah.
end. That's the end.
I love that, bro. I love that. Like you're setting yourself up for your business to be able to be ran remotely anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I,
as time goes on and you keep bringing in that income, it might be
yeah,
worth bringing in some part-time staff, maybe a little PA,
yeah,
just to
yeah,
give you a little bit of protection so you can think about being a visionary, thinking about the next step,
yeah.
building the next move, you know,
A
so that
VA is
you can
probably,
sleep a bit better as well.
yeah, VA. Hopefully, I think that'll probably be my next step. I've got a deal hopefully that I'm going to take on at the end of this month. So that'll
Mm-hmm.
be
5.
5 for myself and then one
Yeah.
JV. So
Yeah.
once I get that
Sick.
5th one, I'll probably get a VA, and they can take that bit of stress away from me moving
Yeah,
forward.
that would do you good, bro. I think that's a good sort of point to get to around 5, 6. That's when I think
Yeah,
I remember getting help at that point because it's a lot of admin.
yeah,
Don't necessarily want to be the first point of contact for the tenants if
yeah,
something goes wrong or the guests. Like you want to have a little bit of a first wall of protection, bro.
exactly.
You can sleep well, and they could be based in another country. They could be, when you're going to sleep, they're working. So them nighttime calls, in the Philippines or whatever, that can work
Yeah,
out well.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
definitely
hopefully,
look into it, man. Go on Upwork and shop about when you're ready, man.
yeah, I'll definitely have a look at them. Yeah, my mate has one at the minute, so I'll probably have a word with him, see what he says as well. And
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I do like the HMOs. I think if I ever did HMO, I'd probably be owning a HMO. I wouldn't do a
yeah,
rent to HMO because
yeah,
I've got too comfortable with the SA at the minute. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, it's easy for you now because you've mastered the process, right?
yeah,
Just
literally.
remember, just remember, winter's coming, bro. Yeah, so just
To be
remember, it gets a
honest,
bit quieter down them times.
funny enough, winter's probably my highest that I've made.
No way.
I made stupid numbers in winter. I think that was
Yeah.
from my highest ever month. Yeah, in
What was
terms
that
of,
from groups? Just workers, people needed it.
no, so I thought the contractors, yeah, Monday to Friday, but I thought I'd do the tourists because you've got like the German market and stuff like that. So
Ah,
uh,
yeah.
I open like what I've done now is like when it starts getting to like July, August time, I
Mm.
open my calendar for December, and I have
Mhm.
my prices really high. So if I do get booked, it's at a
Mhm.
stupid price, and I'll
Yeah.
happily take that. So
Yeah.
that's what I did last year, and kind of just had my calendar open, and
That's a good
yeah,
little
like
tip.
I had like people from abroad and that booking, and
Yeah.
yeah, I had, like a 6 night. I think it was a 4 or 6 night booking, and they spent like 2.5 grand. And
Yeah.
that was literally my break even, pretty much
Yeah.
paid in
Perfect.
6 nights. Yeah, so it's stuff like that. I mean, the winter. This is probably my first winter with this many units, so it'd
Mhm.
be interesting to see how it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, no,
hope,
keep using those little tips there. I mean, like you say,
yeah,
having it on the market, opening the calendar,
yeah,
getting people to book early. They're still going to be paying more in a hotel,
yeah,
and
exactly.
because there's probably less on the market, less people that open their calendar that later on in the year. there's less to choose from, isn't there? So obviously that makes the demand goes up, less supply, then obviously the price goes up, doesn't it? So
especially with
playing,
reviews. That's what I've realized with Airbnb and stuff. Your reviews are like the most important thing, to be honest with you.
they're super important, bro. Super important.
Yeah,
Humans aren't that complicated. Like they like
yeah,
to see that a few other
mm,
people have gone first before them and said it was a good experience, you know.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've kind of like, even when I first started out, I think all I was trying to do is just get booked so I get a review, and
Yeah.
yeah, since then I built good reviews, and yeah, it's been very good since. Very
Yeah,
good.
no, that's fantastic, bro. And mentioning going back to the HMO, I think you should definitely look into buying in the future. You're only going to make more from that than you are from the rent to rents, because you're going to be paying a mortgage, interest only mortgage, rather
Yeah,
than paying the
yeah,
landlord, you know. So
exactly.
it's going to be
Yeah,
cheaper than what you're paying out
yeah,
now.
exactly.
And I
So
imagine in Birmingham, what can you get an HMO for? 200 grand, 250,
yeah, I
something like
think
that,
they've gone a
maybe
bit
less.
higher now. I think they've
Yeah,
actually gone higher. Yeah, in Birmingham, the the prices have gone so
300.
much higher than what they were before. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
300, 400 mark.
yeah,
Yeah, quite a bit.
yeah,
Depending
yeah.
on what size it was. So
So you'd have to put
yeah,
a fair bit of money down, but I'm pretty
yeah,
sure once we build the brand and stuff,
yeah,
like there'll be no
mm,
shortage of people who would have followed your journey as we
yeah,
keep growing your page and stuff, and they'll
yeah,
be more than happy with a fixed return on some of that money.
exactly.
You know, they could
Yeah,
come up with a deposit. You could find a deal. You could go joint venture with someone.
yeah, that's
You
the plan. I think I'm trying to do a lot more networking as well moving
know?
forward.
Yeah,
Just try and, because I think JV is what I want to do moving forward as well.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
raising finance and stuff. I think
yeah,
like there's quite a few people out there that are doing it and they're smashing it, and
yeah.
just they've yeah, it's really
It's a
good.
good way to go. It's a good way to go if you think about raising money. Like obviously, you can either get it from the bank at a certain percentage, 5%, 4%,
Yeah,
or you know you can raise finance from private investors and give them back 7% a year. You know,
yeah,
anywhere from 7 to 10. I'd say 7 is probably more realistic.
yeah, yeah,
And people are happy to give 100 grand and get 107 back at the end of the year. I mean, they're not
mm,
getting that in an interest savings account
exactly. Yeah,
with inflation and stuff. So people are happy to get them type of returns. And if you can find the opportunity, you can
exactly.
definitely do that, bro. And that's going to come from building a brand and yeah, just growing your following, showing what you've been doing, and people will start to trust the same way that the agents and that start to trust you, and you build that rapport.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. You're just doing it, talking into the phone, doing more things like this.
mm,
And then people start to get to know you, don't they? And then they want to do
yeah,
business with you because they feel that they trust you and know you already. So you
exactly.
bring them to you rather than you going out trying to find them.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully, building the brand.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. No, that's we've covered a lot there, bro, man. I feel
Yeah.
filled in now. I feel filled in. You know what I mean? I feel like I understand what's been going on.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's been like how long? About a year and a bit, I think, since
Been
we
a
last
year and a
spoke.
bit. I thought I'd leave you to it. Let you get hustling. You know, get to work.
Yeah, I think once you get into it and your head's stuck into it, it's hard to get your head out. It's so
Oh,
it's
100%,
going down.
100%. That's why when I was saying to you like that, and you was busy, I was thinking, yeah, that I know exactly where he is. Because if anyone that asked me to do a podcast or come and have a chat, like when I was my first couple of years, bro, I wouldn't have been able to, bro. I was similar to you, not
Mhm,
sleeping, going
literally.
to the properties, sleeping in them, you know,
Yeah,
like packing them up,
yeah.
getting them
I
back on
remember.
the road. Do you know what I mean? That's part of the game, though. It's
But
part of the
it's all
game.
yeah, it's all fun and games, to be honest. I enjoy it, to be honest. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You was always very ready from the beginning. When I first spoke to you, you was prepared to
yeah.
get your hands dirty. You wasn't one of those ones who was like, when am I going to be making 10 grand a month, Luke? You know,
Nah,
you're very much like, I'm willing to do the work. I know
mm,
that it's going to take a little bit of time. I've
yeah,
done some work with my dad in the house and stuff. Like I
yeah, yeah.
understand the basics of refurbishments and stuff. I know
Mm,
properties are, you know, more of a long-term play. I'm willing to put the work in. And fast forward to now, and you know, you're making double, even treble what most people are making in a full-time job, which is amazing at your age. You know what I mean? To be having a business like that.
yeah. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah,
So
it's
you've come a long way, bro. So hopefully a
thank,
lot more to come in the future.
hopefully.
So where's the best place for people to find your journey then? I guess My Property Let's Instagram, best
That's
place
it.
to
Yeah,
find.
let's. Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, it's very simple. When I came up with that name as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
it
property.
works though. It works. Why we haven't got to complicate it, you know? rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's got property in it. It's got lets in it. That's what you're doing. So
Yeah.
nah, it makes
Yeah.
sense, bro. It makes sense.
That's what they find me. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe like we'll be starting a TikTok soon as well.
I don't know, bro. I haven't even got TikTok, like the app. I feel like I'd get distracted. I've never downloaded it once. So
Yeah, like it's, if you can get into the habit of only uploading rather than
yeah,
scrolling, but
yeah.
I'll be
I think that's my problem, to be honest with you. The marketing sort of stuff, social media, has never been my
yeah,
thing. So
yeah,
I don't even have a personal social media. So it's like
yeah, yeah. I hear you.
it's very
I hear
difficult
you.
for me. So
I hear
I
you.
probably have
That's
to
how,
jump out
that's
my
how it
comfort
was for me.
zone.
That's how it was for me in the beginning. It was Kaz really that forced me to do more of it, you know, because I weren't really trying to jump on, start shouting to a phone, and that. It was a strange concept, right? But I'm glad that he did push me to do it, because fast forward to now, and here we are, you know, like,
Smashing
and
it. Yeah.
so much more opportunity can come from the social media side of things. And
Yeah.
I think
100%.
a lot of people, especially your age group, like you'd have such a demographic of people that would be wanting to follow in your footsteps and be inspired by your story. So
Yeah.
rather than seeing it as like a burden, just try and see it as like something to be excited about. Like you need to share your journey with the world, and then people will learn from that. And then inevitably in the future, later down the line, some of those people will probably want to learn from you.
Yeah. No,
And
definitely. I
it
think
could be
that's
another income stream.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I hope so. Anyway, that's the plan.
Yeah. Well, that's the plan, bro. This is the first step. You know, you coming on things like this, having a chat with your old mentor and that, and finding out,
Yeah. I
telling your
appreciate
story. Obviously, this will go up on YouTube, and it will be on Apple Music and Spotify and all that good stuff as well. So this hopefully is the first, bringing you out. I'm drawing you out, I'm pulling you out. You know, so hopefully there'll be a lot more things like this in the future.
it. Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure, bro. Just lastly, then, someone just starting out, someone who hasn't got, if you could think about your old self 18 months ago, where you was at, like, what would you tell yourself now? Like you mentioned patience and that earlier on, but obviously, like, it's hard to really see that when you're in that mode. Like, how does
Yeah.
someone stick at it when they're getting told no all the time? Like, what was it that you think kept you going in that time?
I think, to be honest with you, the way you got to see it is like the way I saw it at first. Well, not at first, but like after a few times, like the agents, you're never actually going to see them. They don't know
No,
who you are. They don't care about you.
facts.
Literally, like, just do it. Even if it doesn't work, they're not going to
Hmm.
think, oh, this person called, Adam has called. It sounds like an idiot. No one
Yeah,
cares. I
no,
feel
none of
like,
that even exists.
yeah. When you first start out, I think if you care about what people are going to think about you and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, 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 yeah,
just do it.
yeah.
No one cares, honestly. No one cares
No
about
one
that.
cares, bro. No one cares. You're not that important. Get over yourself, basically.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of had to drill in my head. Like, no one cares
Yeah,
about
that's a hard one to learn. I had to learn that one hard myself as well. Like,
it. Is
get over yourself. You're very small in the big world of things, you know?
yeah,
Like,
definitely. You're
they're
nothing
human
compared
beings.
to people. Yeah, 100%.
They're normal
So,
people end of the day, aren't they? Agents. They just want to get through their day 9 to 5. If
mm,
they can rent a property to someone, great. They get a commission.
yeah,
It's not that deep. Pick the phone up, make the calls. If you get told
yeah,
no, hang the phone up, phone someone else, move on.
yeah,
Do 10 of
definitely.
them a day.
Yeah. Also, with like even when an agent says no, it's not always no. Like that's what I kind of had to tell myself as well. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, oh, it's a no, leave it,
Yeah, yeah.
that's it. I never actually
Yeah,
followed them, but
yeah.
I got my second deal with that agent. He said
Yeah.
no,
Follow up.
and I'm interested.
Yeah.
Sorry, and
Yeah.
I just keep calling, and it gets to a point where they're like, oh, this idiot's not going to stop calling. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna have to, yeah, or block
Yeah.
his number. So and
Yeah. You
then
got to become a pest.
yeah, literally, that's how it is. Like, you might come across begging for it, but like,
But at least
you're
it
not
shows them you're serious.
exactly. That's the
It
thing.
shows them you're
And
serious. You're not going to go away.
literally, so I think that's probably the best advice. It's like no one cares, honestly. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get over yourself. No one cares. And it's not that deep. Just, it's a
100%.
numbers game. Do the
Yeah,
volume, make the calls, get told no, call someone else, move on.
yeah,
The,
definitely.
the deal will come, because I think you mentioned it took you what, 4 months roughly
My
from
first
when you was
deal,
actually on it,
yeah.
calling
So
and kind of going
yeah,
viewings.
it took like just to literally when I bought your course, it took me around 4 or 5 months to try and actually just sit down and make phone calls.
Yeah, yeah.
When I did that,
Things started
I
to move.
started getting I started getting, oh yeah, we're interested, but with
Yeah,
with agents, you kind of forget at first that you need a guarantor, or
yeah,
they do
yeah,
reference checks, and you don't
yeah,
actually do that, so you get happy, and then it comes to it, and you're like, oh man, who am I going to use? And
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I haven't got anyone that's like, earning that money
yeah,
that are
yeah,
close.
of course, of
So
course.
yeah, it's one of them. But like when you get the yes, then you think, you know what, people actually still want this service.
Hmm.
So you start calling other people, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's a snowball effect,
It's
honestly.
just
Like
getting that first one. First one's the most difficult. Once you've got that, you've got the proof of concept, your confidence goes up through the roof,
definitely,
your
definitely,
pitch improves, and you can even get a reference from your first client,
yeah,
like
exactly,
landlord. That obviously helps. I've done that in the past where landlords have said, "Have you got anyone I can call just to see if your service has been good?" And I give them the number of my first property, and they call them. They say it's all good, and then they want to give me the keys.
exactly. Yeah, 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 literally. So that's how it works. To be honest with you, like word of mouth as well is very
Yeah.
important.
Word of
Yeah,
mouth, integrity. That's what I've got from catching up with you. Word of mouth works. Integrity works. Following up. A no isn't a no.
so
It's just
it's not
it's
enough.
not right now. But if you follow up later down the line, like
Yeah,
you said with that other landlord as well, they might say no today, but you speak to them in
yeah,
6 months' time. They've had a couple bad experiences. All of a
exactly.
sudden, your offer's looking a bit different now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The ball's in more in, like, your
Yeah,
court. Like, when they're
yeah,
coming to you, you've got more
yeah.
control, more power.
Yeah, more control,
Yeah,
more power, and you can even negotiate like you did brilliantly,
yeah, yeah. Especially
and
with
use
the
it to
deposit.
your advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Mm.
Ah,
Especially
well.
like, I think, also writing things down. Like if you've if you view the place, and
Hmm.
knowing that a lot of the time, even if they've found tenants, it's a 12-month thing. So
Hmm.
or 6 month or 12-month thing. So like,
Hmm.
follow up in 6 months, because the
Yeah,
property won't be going up straight away, and you can
yeah,
try and get it, off market
yeah, yeah,
12 months time or before that. So
yeah. And
always
in,
a good
in
thing.
that period, they're thinking, "Oh, I've got to pay estate agent fees again.
Exactly.
I've got to,
Yeah,
I've got to refurb it a little bit. I've got to fix things. I would love to have someone who could just give me a guaranteed rent, and I didn't have to do this." That's what they're
exactly.
thinking. So
Yeah,
that's why your offer comes in, and they think, "Okay, no, that's actually sounding pretty good now."
yeah, definitely. I think landlords, it's so stressful being a landlord. Like when your tenancy finishes with that
Yeah,
person, you have to find someone else.
yeah,
Like the agent's gonna have to look for someone else, and a lot of the
yeah.
time, instead of paying the agent again, you know, you don't have to go through that process again. A lot
You
of
don't
the
have to
agents,
go through that again.
landlords
No,
anyway. Yeah,
no.
yes.
And
It's
and and you don't want to necessarily do it yourself if you're like 50s,
exactly.
60s, you've got a family, you might have a job. It's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
it's not something, although it doesn't take loads of hours, it's still something that needs high levels of focus in it. So for
100%.
those hours out of the day, even if it's 2 or 4 hours you're working hard, you're locked in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not something you can half-heartedly do.
Yeah, you can't,
So it might
it's
be less
very,
hours work, but it's
yeah,
still very, very focused work.
100%. I
And it's
agree.
not something you can just do as a part-time thing. And that's why I think they prefer to go with companies like ourselves and like yourselves, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's passive income. And that's kind of why they've got into property investing in the first place, to get passive income.
literally. Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
that's
yeah,
sound, bro. That's sound, bro. That's great advice, man. So
I
I guess
appreciate it.
that's the end, man. That's the end. I ain't got no more questions for you, man. It's been great catching up, finding
Yeah,
out how
it's
you get.
been good. Yeah, it's been a while, to be honest with you, but yeah,
Yeah, well, at least we got something to talk about.
yeah, finally.
Yeah, finally, bro. There's a few months there where there weren't going to be much to talk about other than
Yeah,
just more calls. Keep pushing. That's
yeah.
all I had to say. Keep going, and here we are, bro. So, nah, more power to you, man. You've done ever so well,
No, I
and
appreciate it. Thank you.
just
Thank you.
keep smashing it, man. Keep
Yeah,
keep growing, keep learning, keep going to them networking events.
100%.
Try and read audiobooks, podcasts. Obviously, you're in the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah,
Any conversations you can have in there. Obviously, I'm always here, so just keep using your resources, bro, and keep pushing, man.
yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro.
No worries, bro. And yeah, we'll catch up soon, man.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, enjoy your evening.
And you, man.
You can chill out now.
Finally.
You got it done out of the way now. So
Yeah, no, no. I'm gonna go eat, man. I haven't eaten anything.
yeah, yeah, go and eat some food, man. We'll catch up soon. Yeah.
Definitely, bro. Appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
bro.
Thank you very much.
No
Yeah.
worries. Speak soon, bro. In a
Take care,
bit.
bro. Talk to yourself
Bye.
soon.